You talk about your dad, who also rebuilt and started from scratch. He actually didn't leave the Soviet Union because things were bad. Things were good, and he left and came here and started from scratch. An engineer who ended up, lifting furniture to pay the bills in America. You talk a lot about him and about the lessons he taught you, but he wasn't sure you were doing the right thing here. In fact, he was a Trump supporter. He was, and he left at 47 from a very comfortable position, but they were bad in that there were possibilities for his children were not there, and that his wife, who's dying, or my mother that was dying of cancer, wasn't going to survive in the Soviet Union. But yes, he was a Trump supporter, and I think that's a common vein amongst immigrants, especially from that Soviet era, that have this rejection of anything left, liberal, and overcorrect and hew to the right. And he certainly, that was his mindset. But there was more to that when he counseled me to kind of figure out a way to reconcile with the president. He had a deep fear of what might happen to me, the consequences of my actions for my career, and maybe even channeling some of his views of what would happen to somebody in Russia. I would have not survived that. And when you told him what you were going to do, first of all, he thought you might have misheard, but he was also very worried because he had images of what someone like you in Russia pulling that, what would happen to them, including jail and possibly death. More than likely. I mean, certainly in various periods in the Soviet era, it wouldn't be just me, it would be my family. And we saw some reflections of that in the Trump administration when my brother was walked out, some sort of punishment that extended to family members also. Totally unacceptable in the United States. How do you feel about this now? I mean, given all the ups and downs of it, how do you feel today? I have no regrets about my actions. One of the most important things is the fact that I could live with my actions and I could look my daughter in her eyes and not have to equivocate, not try to rationalize, not try to explain away some misdeeds I did, falling short. And that makes me very proud that I can do that. And I also have that deep confidence that my father had coming here to the United States rebuilding, that I will end up being fine. I'm working on a doctorate at Johns Hopkins. I'm at a think tank doing all sorts of interesting things, having wonderful conversations with people like yourself. And these things would not be afforded to me. I would have had a much easier go of it if I just stayed in, kept quiet, like so many other people. But that wasn't. You'd have been a full colonel. Yes. Your title of the book is Here Right Matters. You believe that still? Here Right Matters? I do, but not in the very simplistic notion that, everything works out exactly as as one would hope. Here Right Matters, really, it matters only if we make it matter. If we're active in the process, if we're engaged, if we're trying to drive the things that are important to us. In my case, as soon as I left I got out of uniform, I didn't want to be a political actor, but I spoke out against President Trump. I try to have an impact speaking out against President Trump, talking about his corruption, and I hope that was impactful. And I'm going to continue to do that, advocating for public servants that don't have a voice while they're in service. I'm going to do that by advocating for national security, and I'm going to make it matter. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, his new book is Here Right Matters. It is out tomorrow. We appreciate your time. Thank you.